Awesome. Okay, we're live. Hello, hello, happy, healthy women. Nat here, founder of Happy Healthy Women, and I am joined by the incredible Heather London today. Say hello, Heather.
Hello, my friends.
Um, for those of you who are new to Happy Healthy Women, these are our 20-minute lives that we do. I used to call them lunch hour lives, but that just got silly because we're in different time zones. And so now they're just called 20-minute lives because it's noon where we are and it is 9 a.m. where Heather is in our Coquitlam, BC branch. Heather is a mindset mentor. She is a life coach. She is a trailblazer in our Coquitlam branch, and we are so excited to be chatting with this lovely lady today. Thank you for being here, Heather.
Thanks for having me, Nat. I love hanging out with you. For us, it's like coffee in the morning, right? Not lunchtime.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll come up with a more creative name a little down the road. But thank you again so much for being here, and I'm excited for what we're going to chat about today because when I said, what are we going to talk about? What's our topic today? And you gave me a couple. I was like, yes, this, like, so amazing. And I know that I'm not alone in saying in this community that we are all about mindset. We are all about personal growth. And how it adds to our health and wellness and our business success. And so talk to me a little bit. First of all, I'd love for you to introduce yourself and share a little bit more about you beyond just your titles. And then we'll jump into the topic of mindset.
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me. I love sharing with this community. It's such an amazing community that holds space so beautifully for us, and I love it. So thanks for creating this. My name is Heather London, and I am a life coach. I have a background also in energy healing, shamanic healing practitioner, holistic nutritionist, personal training. So I take all of those when I coach with somebody because, as you know, it's not just like a one thing. So when somebody comes to me for, a health issue, it's the whole thing. And so it's really important that you look at somebody holistically, top to bottom, everything that's going on. And so the number one thing that I've found over the years of dealing with people in all these different capacities is it always comes back to mindset, because our thoughts create our results. Like, that's kind of the big summary of it. And I get really excited when I talk about this because for so many people, they have no clue. And this gives you your power back. So if you come to me and you're like, Heather, I'm struggling with my business, I'll be like, let's dig into your mindset, because once we find out what the thoughts are that are creating those results, you can apply that to your relationships, and you can apply that to your health. You can apply it across the board, but it gives you your power back because it's you creating the results. Nothing's happening to you. It's like, now you realize that you've been in control all along, and you like your results, so you get to create something different. So it's pretty exciting when you think about it from that way.
It is totally so exciting. We create our realities, right? And I was reading a post yesterday that was talking about how things don't happen to us. We create things, right? And so it really is so empowering to hear you speak from that perspective. So now, like, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the different types of weight, like the different types of things that you see in your clients, and like specific blocks, I guess, that they would carry, and how you tend to work through those things. Because I'm sure that so many of us that are on the call can relate to, many different blocks that you'll be able to share.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because sometimes I go down different paths to get to it. It depends on the person. And all the time when I'm listening to them, their words that they're saying will tell me exactly what's going on for them. And their results never lie. That's what I love to say. Results never lie. So if you have an issue in your health, we'll look at your results and then backtrack it from there to see what the thought was that created that results. Because like we had said, it's like nothing is happening to you. I like to even say it's happening for you, meaning there's a gift in everything. And so if you can think about it from that perspective, as opposed to being like, oh, why is this happening to me? It's like, what's the gift here? And so when I'm looking at it from that, it's like I'm receiving something from this, and there's all the good stuff happening. And that's what I want to do. So the next time something comes up, I'm going to see that and deal with it in a different way. But our body always gives us feedback too. So if a client comes on and is like, oh, my back hurts, back is always a lack of support from others. And so I would ask a question based on that, being like, where in your life are you not being supported by others?
I love it. I love it. And so there's a lot of intuition that goes into this as well, correct? Like, would you say that there is a connection between the mindset and intuition, and we have to really learn how to hone that skill?
Yes, that's such a great question, because it is so powerful that you'll question going like, is do I really know? Like, where did this come from? So when I'm talking to somebody, I get downloads, I get hits, it's a knowing. And with my clients, I also do energy clearings and healings. And with the shamanism, you bring that in. So you have all these guides helping you from my side, from your side, and you have to learn how to tune into that and hear the story. Because what I receive is a healing story, a medicine story for that person if I'm dealing with you. And then I tell you that story, and that story will be like, it might not make sense to me, but when I tell it to you, you'll be like, yes, that's exactly what I'm going through. That's exactly. And then we get help from our guides. And so it's very intuitive, and we can all do it. It's just, like I said, your thoughts around, am I really receiving this? This is so amazing and powerful. And the openness to receiving it and being willing to receive it. Because when you're doing shamanic journeys, it's all receiving. You go on a journey, and the story is told to you, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
translated, and it's very specific for you. And you got to trust that the story you're being told is the story that is for you, and it has such big meaning.
Totally. I love where this conversation is going, Heather, because what I'm hearing is that, it's not about just flipping the mindset on its own, right? It really is about listening to those, like that wisdom that comes, and then having your mindset follow. So it's like what I say often about lead with your heart and let the mind come along to compute. And what you're really sharing is how to do that, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and that can happen on different levels, right? Like, so if you're talking to me, I'm going to pick up on the words you're saying, and that's feedback. But I'm also going to pick up on your body language, or when, like I said, when you tell me that you have a health issue, because our body is our subconscious mind talking to us. So we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of those are the same as yesterday. So you can see how we get caught in the cycle of the sameness, and we're not learning and growing and breaking out. But when you have an outside person witnessing this, it's easy for me to see for you, because I'm standing witness, I'm holding space for you, and I have no judgment. And I'm just
Mm.
listening, and I'm seeing what your body is telling me, because your body can't lie, and it's your subconscious. So we're aware of 10% of our thoughts and what's going on. And that 90% is inside our body, subconscious, telling us what's going on. So when an issue comes up with our body, I'm like, oh, that's your body talking to you. But it's like French for you. You don't know what it's saying. So I'm going to translate for you, right? If you tell me that there's something going on with your leg, I'm like, okay, where are you not moving forward? And if it's the left side, it's like with that feminine energy or the doing and creativity in your life. And as soon as I ask those questions, the people will be like, oh, yes, because it's a connect. They just don't know it because it's the subconscious. So the more we tune into our body and listen to what it's telling us, all the answers are there if we know how to hear what it's saying.
Right. So the more we tune into our body, the more our minds can sort of relax. And this is what I'm understanding. And then our minds can sort of relax and also find clarity. Right? Am I on the right path with saying that?
Yeah, because our minds are our monkey brains that are going to distract us and keep us safe. Because our mind is our kind of like our ego going, okay, my job here is to keep you safe. And a lot of
Yeah.
times, safe is being where you are right now. And if where you are right now is so painful, you can't take it any longer. That's usually when people reach out to me, is when they're so stuck. The pain is more uncomfortable and hard than the where they want to go to, the fear of going somewhere else. And that's when they start to get shut down. The ego's like, whoa, 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 you want to change, you want to look at stuff, I'm scared, forget it, so I'm going to keep you here. And that's the fear will stop you from going to that place, because the ego is afraid that it might die or be exposed. But that's how you learn and grow. You can't, you can't get out of a problem using the same thinking that you did to get into the problem, right? You got to think outside the box and you have to come from a new perspective. And that's why getting someone to help you really helps. I know for me personally, Nat, and you can probably vouch for this, is I've had the biggest breakthroughs in my life when I've gotten coaching from somebody else. I have a coach for all aspects of my life. And when I go to my coach for help, that's when I make my big breakthroughs, because I'm thinking something and I'm doing something with the same thought process that got me into that. And when my coach can look at it from a different point of view, that's when I can see, like, wow, I had no idea. I wasn't capable of seeing that. And they give you that gift, and then you can grow in leaps and bounds. So it's when you're, investing in yourself like that, you're going to totally skyrocket your results. You're going to get bigger, faster results than if you try to go it alone, it can be done, but it's really arduous. It's hard, and it can be scary, and it can be really, really a battle almost sometimes. Wouldn't you agree? Have you had that experience too?
I would 100% agree. I think that everyone should have a coach. And to be honest, I think coaching should be, considered like a necessity in our lives, right? Like an essential service, really.
Yes.
Because if we all had the right coaching with coaches that we resonate with, our lives would all be so much better. I fully, wholeheartedly agree with that. And you're so right. Because when, as good as we may be at personal growth and development and reading all the books and feeling all the feels and knowing ourselves, there's quite often times where even in myself, like I'll think of something and I'll be like, I really got to work on that. And then out it goes, right? Yeah. Versus when I'm working with my coach and we come to the, the decision of I really got to work on that, we work on it right then and there. And then it we're so much more productive. So I totally, totally agree. And what I love about your coaching, Heather, is that you really focus on both the mind-body connection, right? It's not just about think positive, change your mindset. It's really about so much more than that, which is great. So I wanted to ask you about results, okay? Because we talk about how mindset really affects your results. So talk to me about, for example, it's all entrepreneurs and happy, healthy women, right? So how will this type of coaching serve women in their businesses, for example?
Yeah, great question. And when it comes to entrepreneurs, because we're entrepreneurs, there's one common thread that this is going to be really helpful. So all entrepreneurs, listen up, because what I found is every time I work with an entrepreneur, it always comes down to belief. And so there's belief in the three things, the belief triad, which is there's belief in your product or your coaching or whatever it is. And then there's belief in the person that you're coaching, can they do it? Are they capable? And then there's belief in yourself. And so if your business isn't being successful, it's going to be one of those beliefs that are lacking. And a lot of the time it's belief in self. So for example, if I'm a life coach and my coaching isn't doing very well, I'm going to see which one it is. And it's probably going to come down to maybe I don't believe that I could get results for people or that I know what I'm doing. And when I do my work around that, my business will take off. So a lot of entrepreneurs think, oh, I need to do more Facebook. I need to do more Instagram. But in reality, it's the work on themselves that they get to do. And the more they do that work on themselves, the bigger and the quicker results they'll get. So when you have this thought process, your thoughts create your results. If you are thinking, okay, maybe I don't know what I'm doing, your results are going to show that by not getting clients. And most people will change the action. So it's your thoughts create a feeling. The feeling creates the action creates the result. Now, what a lot of people do is they try to change the action. So their business isn't doing well, still they'll try to do more Facebook or they'll try to do a webinar or whatever that is. But they're still coming from that same thought process of maybe I don't know what I'm doing. So the action is always be taken from that same thought process. You're always going to get those results. So once you change your thought around it, then you'll get different results. Meaning instead of saying, yes, I know I'm a good coach, but it doesn't resonate with your body, you can't fake it till you make it. You've got to find something that resonates. So it could be something like, I'm in the process of learning how to be an awesome coach. Boom, that resonates. And every time you're going through something, I'm in the process, I'm learning. And then your results will change. So it's the thought that needs to change, not the action. And that's where a lot of entrepreneurs will make that mistake, is they'll be taking a different action, but still from the same thought process.
Mm. Oh my gosh, that resonates so much so.
We've all done
Uh,
it.
Pardon me?
We've all done it over and over again, right? Trying to take different action. Why won't it work? Why won't it work?
Yeah, yeah, or trying to do something that you see someone else doing, and that's maybe not necessarily the right thing for you in your business, right? So figuring out what works for you, um, from that mindset place, and then being able to be expansive with it, right? So, when you're speaking, what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling is this difference between scarcity and lack, and abundance and expansion and openness. And unfortunately, so many of us sit in that scarcity and lack as a default, right? And it's just the world that we live in. And so most of us have to do a lot of work to get to that abundance and that expansion. Would you say that that's right?
100%. And you know why? You know how you know if you're in lack and scarcity? From your results, right?
Yeah.
That's how I can track it. It's like, that's definitely coming from a lack and scarcity mindset. So if you're lack and scarcity mindset, but you do a different action, you're still going to get lack and scarcity results. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. So I'm curious to know what kind of results are not so obvious. So obviously, like if we're not, making enough revenue in our business, or if we are like anything that's not enough. But are there any other results that you've seen that are rooted in that lack and scarcity to give people a better idea of maybe they're sitting there?
Well, it could go anywhere across your life. Like it could be in a
Okay.
relationship. Like it could be you're in a relationship, but you're really not happy, but you stay there anyway because you don't think that you deserve more. So it could show up,
Right.
or even your body. You could be in okay shape, but you're not in spectacular shape, like really rocking out your body because you don't think that you deserve that, right? Because I'm not worthy of receiving that. That's the lack and scarcity mindset. So it can go all the way across all areas of your life, and especially happiness, like the spirituality. It's always like spirituality, and I call that happiness because some people relate to it differently. If you're like, yeah, my life is okay, but why isn't your life awesome? Why isn't your life fabulous? And we want that in all areas of your life. It's totally doable. And that's where that comes from, that lack and scarcity. Like, I can have this much, but I can't have everything, or I can't have this much. It's like just enough, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And being willing to look at those darker places. Like it's interesting you mentioned the fitness and the body because for me anyway, when I finally got to the point, like I was like fine and I was coasting with like not loving my body, not that I didn't love the way my body looked, but not feeling great in my body, not feeling strong. When I finally got to the rock bottom of that and was like, I'm done. Like I need a change. What do I have to change? And it all started with mindset and loving myself because that was the inspiration to start working and rocking out my fitness and loving it. Right. So
Yeah.
I totally, fully agree.
And if
Mhm.
you don't, here's the thing about being in the fitness industry for 15 years is I can get people great results, but if they don't do their deep inner work, then once they're triggered, they're going to go exactly back to that spot, right? Because they haven't gotten to the root cause of why they really did that to themselves in the first place. And so
Yeah.
you can only will and power it, like force it for so long. And then once you're triggered, once you get like really triggered by somebody, you'll go exactly back to that spot where you were before. But if you do your inner work, you'll know why you did that, what your unconscious beliefs were that got you there. And then you can change those unconscious beliefs. That's the subconscious that I was talking about that we're not aware of. It came from your upbringing and experience. And you got to go there and you got to see why it wasn't true and create something new. And then you'll have those amazing results that will last forever.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You do such crazy, amazing work. And this, like, just this conversation has flown, by the way. This was 20 minutes and literally, like, you held the attention of so many people live. So thank you so much, Heather. Can you just share quickly a little bit about, how you work with people and what you have coming up or how people can find you and take advantage? I know I said quickly, but that's a lot of information. But anyway, go ahead and tell us where people can find you, what you have coming up, and how you work with people.
Okay, great. Yeah. So you can find me on my website, so heatherlondon.ca. And usually I work one-on-one with people, but coming up in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a group program. So if one-on-one scares you or doesn't work for you, you can go into a group program where we're all going to go through the process together in a nice, safe container where we help each other and support each other and lift each other up. And it's going to be amazing. So that's going to start in August.
Love it. So there's a group program starting in August. And do you also work one-on-one with people?
Yeah, that's mainly how I work with people is one-on-one. So when I offer this group program, it might be an opportunity for somebody who doesn't want to do the one-on-one or can't afford the one-on-one to be able to get that same experience and totally level their lives.
I love it. I love it. And so they can find out more information at heatherlondon.ca. Do you also offer a consultation for people that if they want to know more, they can hop on a call with you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks, Nat. So what I always do is I jump on a call with somebody to see if it's a fit. So I want to see what they're going through, what their experience is, what they're struggling with, and then see if I'm a fit to help them. And if I'm a fit, that's great. We can work together. If not, I'd be happy to refer them to somebody who is, because the main goal is that they get help up-leveling their lives so they can live the best life. Because you know why? If they're happy and living a good life, everybody around them benefits, and it goes out throughout the community, and it helps make the world a better place, one person at a time, starting with ourselves.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Amazing. And you've also got some events coming up with Happy Healthy Women, and people can find those on our website, or if they go to the Happy Healthy Women Coquitlam branch in BC on our meetup page, you'll find us. Happy Healthy Women Coquitlam BC. Google it, and you'll be able to find Heather's events that she's got happening too. Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Sarah. I love talking to you. Thank you for taking the time to have some coffee with me today.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody who watched. Please reach out to Heather. Don't go at this work alone. I think that's what I want to end this with today, because what we've talked about is so important, and it can take you years to get to a place where someone like Heather can help you get there in a few short months. And so definitely reach out to Heather, touch base with her. If anything that she has said has resonated with you, take the plunge and don't wait. And Heather, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nat. Love what you do. Keep it up, girl.
All right, girl. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody. And join us at happyhealthywomen.ca if you want to step into leadership as well. Have a great rest of your week. Take care, guys.